Stabbed, however, is the only video that maybe actually did genuinely save a life. This was a public safety service announcement commissioned by the British Red Cross, and they were informed that someone did get stabbed and survived because they remembered the contents of this video, which is... Okay, the sketch The Fallen was actually a shot-for-shot remake of a brand deal I'd filmed the previous winter that had fallen through. It was originally called Colonial Morons, and I'll let you figure out what it was a brand deal for. The video was actually filmed on a real active power station, and therefore the shoot had to be insured for £20 million, because if we broke anything, half of London would have lost power, which would have been a bit of a little oopsie-whoopsie, to be honest. Also, this sketch was the first time I ever wore a horse mask, and I learned very quickly that I was super allergic to the inside of the horse mask, because by the time I took it off, I could no longer breathe. At the time of filming coming out, gay marriage was not yet legal in the UK, and so every church we approached to film the gay wedding scene outright rejected it. They were like, nope, we don't have to do this yet, so you can fuck off. So the way we got around that, not one to respect the wishes of the cloth, was to make a fake script for a sketch called Jack's Special Day, in which Jack just had a wedding scene with a woman, as it should be, and we had a fake bride that would stand up on the altar while we set up the cameras and focus, and then as soon as the camera's rolling, and more importantly the priest wasn't in the room, I would run up onto the altar and get my shots, and I fully almost slipped and broke my neck in one of my stage run-ons, which would have been quite a poetic, divine irony. Yeah. Oh, also the Living Tombstone and Little Deuce Deuce are in the background of this sketch. Legendary musicians, yo. In response to the parallel universe where the letter M doesn't exist, I actually parked the YouTube channel Video Gaze in case I ever decided to make a gaming channel. It just seemed like a perfect synergy or whatever. I never went through with the gaming channel, and it's a good idea I didn't go with that name either way, because I'm very...
This looks so cool.
And, yeah, for the best.
This is my favorite texture pack.
Picture Perfect was created by an artist named Amelia Tyndall, who was actually on set painting them live.
Everything looks cool.
Quickly, and it was quite intense to behold, which is very fast. There's plenty of controversy around the sex talk video, but the main thing that sticks out for me, the thing that I regret the most, is that in it I straight up just forgot that adoption exists. I say, if you get pregnant, you're either gonna have to raise a baby you don't want or get an abortion. There's no
Oh my goodness.
adoption. Literal Drinks is another shot-for-shot remake. We originally filmed a much longer version of the script that was so full of puns that we were so very proud of, but when it came to actually putting it in the timeline, it was like, damn, this video is like 5 minutes long. It is far too long, and there was no way to edit it without it completely killing the pace, so we just booked the set.
Oh my goodness, the sheep looks so weird.
Plenty of fun facts about Sniper Pug. First of all, the star was a pug named Pugwash, who we were not allowed to photograph. We weren't allowed to get any selfies with him. We also weren't allowed to film any behind-the-scenes footage. It wasn't in his contract. Yes, the dog had a contract, and if it wasn't in the script of Sniper Pug, we weren't allowed to film it, which was, interesting. Biggest diva I've ever worked with. The sketch also features a young Lucy Jane Murray, who is now an incredibly prolific stunt performer. She's been Widow. She's just great, but it will always make me laugh that her first credit on IMDb, no matter what she does in life, will always be Sniper Pug. And also, they filmed a porno on the same set as Sniper Pug. I think it was called Cock of Duty. I haven't watched it. Maybe I should. The fun fact I have about Horse is it's my favorite video I've ever made, and it will likely always be my favorite video I've ever made. It's the only video I ever made that came out 100% exact.
President Trump is protecting pre-existing conditions. Prescription drugs are more affordable. The cost of insulin is going down. Under President
Intruder on a scooter. In both games, there is this connoisseur achievement for collecting all the paintings throughout the museum. The remaster kindly removes the paintings as you collect them, so it's much easier to keep track of, and added a new collectathon-like counter. I believe it's specifically Banjo and Kazooie, but I know other collectathons have that same sort of format. There were only 7 in the Flash game rather than the now 30. The ones that did not make a return are Zeus, and this lol what pear, which instead has been turned into an apple. So really Zeus is the only one that didn't come back. Better watch out for those copyright strikes from those Greek gods, you know? Most of the paintings of these 30 are themselves references. I'm going to move through that pretty quickly. This "No You, Luigi" is a somewhat obscure meme based on a scene from Hotel Mario. These two are references to Super Mario 64, the tiny huge island. This cute frog is the Dat Boy meme. The captain from SpongeBob SquarePants, what is presumably Rasputin? And while Hitler himself broadly isn't really a reference, he is slapping his desk like the commonly dubbed Hitler downfall scene. We have the Heavy from TF2, Hattie from Battle Block Theater, Hyrule with Death Mountain in sight, the Roll Safe meme with it being switched out for more thematically appropriate for this medieval gallery, Deus Vult Infidel, and the explosion in the background also seems like it came from that, little girl running away meme, and I guess there's a rolling through the exhibit on your scooter. So it's a mishmash of at least 3 things there. I could have sworn this big red-faced guy was from something. Puff claims it's more of an insult. Old vines, then you would understand better. I searched all over. Sadly, I think those were lost with the demise of Vine. Leonidas from Zack Snyder's 300. The Zelda CDI games. 3 different...
As I want it to. There's no mistakes in it. It's just from my imagination to the screen. It's one for one. I love this video. However, while filming the dance sequence, I bent over forwards to pick up the mask in between takes, and boy howdy, I was wearing a very small pair of underwear under a very short dress, and none of the extras like that. So I put a lot of YouTuber celebrity cameos in the Ask Movie series, but Ask Movie 8 is the only one that features a real celebrity, one could argue, in the form of international pop star Kylie Minogue. I'm not going to explain how she got there. A big fuck up which only became apparent in the hours after releasing Ask Movie 8 was that I had to re-license the audio of the Mr. Muffin recordings. I assumed that because I'd recorded with him a year ago, I just owned those recordings outright, but no, I had to relicense them every time. This basically meant that we just had to very quickly pay his management again, but the biggest casualty was poor Rumi, who had made a accompanying song of Aston Movie 8, It's Muffin Time, and I'd said, like, yeah, go ahead, that's really cool, have fun with it, and go ahead, and you can sell it on iTunes. Turns out, no, he could not sell it on iTunes unless he paid a obscenely high fee. It's still on YouTube, and it is an absolute bop, but... In epic girlfriend pranks, I straight up busted poor Alice's nose doing the pie to the face bit. She's a pretty well-trained stunt performer, but I don't think any of us expected that I would crack her nose open, hitting her in the face with a pie. But I did! Sorry, Alice. The animated and underwatched Detective Tom Scar and Tanya Bear was based exclusively on just a pun. There's a YouTuber called Tanya Burr, and we just thought, what if she was a bear? And made a whole sketch just based on that. It has nothing to do with her. Why? I don't know. Features arguably one of the most dangerous and irresponsible stunts we've ever done in a video. Basically, just when Elliot is holding 2 very real knives, he rolls off his chair onto the floor. And I trusted that he'd be fine, and he was. But, you know the phrase, you shouldn't run with scissors? Well, you definitely shouldn't fall over with knives. We're not professional. In delayed reactions, I was required to take a very dramatic puff of a cigarette, something that I don't really know how to do. I don't smoke. And because it was so windy and because I kept fucking it up, I ended up smoking an entire pack of cigarettes in the space of just a couple minutes. And boy howdy, does it turn out I'm allergic as hell to tobacco. Or something like that, because I was sick for a whole day. Fingered was originally written as a sponsored video for Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Andrew Garfield one. It was going to be a random woman in an alleyway getting held up by someone just holding their fingers like this, and it was Spider-Man who was going to be terrified of it, and it was originally going to be the Green Goblin flying in to fight Spider-Man and then seeing it and running away, which is why Liz the Hitler sounds like that. It just, yeah, it was a weird video then, and it's still a weird video now. In Tom Scar vs. Oreo, Hazel turns an urn, cheekily labeled Integrity, into a pile of Oreos.
Oh, those are
We
emeralds.
needed an urn for this sketch, so I tasked our prop and costume person, Sylvia, with acquiring us an urn, assuming she would buy us a new urn. She shows up on set with an urn and says, I borrowed this from my local church. I open it up and I say, Sylvia, this urn is a little dusty on the inside. To which she replies, don't worry, I emptied it first. Also, the video was written and signed off as banned Oreo advert, and only 5 minutes before going live did the brand suddenly say, oh, you can't call it banned Oreo advert, so I at the very last minute changed it to the far inferior title of Tom Scar vs. Oreo. I hate that title so much. In The New Kid, originally titled Todd Arena, we required a dead bird prop. I would have settled for a taxidermied bird, or just really